Hey YouTube, what's happening, man? It's freaking cold today, man. Southern California, man, it's freaking cold. There's snow on all the mountains, and yeah, so much for global warming, huh? Anyhow, want to talk today about, there's a rumor going on about this Chinese eminent domain, and it's really a rumor, and that's what it is. Let me backtrack a little bit, because I've talked about this in the past, but I don't think I've clarified it to the point that I'm going to clarify it today. On the 18th of January 2011 through the 21st of January 2011, President Hu from China was in the United States in Washington, okay? In a nutshell, when that occurrence happened and when he met with Obama and the rest of the United States or whatever, the game of the Illuminati changed. Okay? Because from that point on, everybody in the Illuminati knew exactly what China could do. Okay? Now, before the 18th, and during the few months that China presented its, super weapons and super military, they were only the high-ranking individuals in the Illuminati who knew about what was going on. High-ranking generals, high-ranking covert ops, the pinnacle of the Illuminati fabric, and Magic 12. I mean, that's really the top echelons of the Illuminati. Those are probably the only individuals that knew what was going on. On the 18th through the 21st, that's when the minions became aware. And that's when all hell broke loose. And that's when all the panic and all the fear and all the reality of this new world where China is the military superpower, and they can pretty much dictate to the United States what to do and what not to do. If you're unfamiliar with that, watch my video, Webbot Baby Webbot. That'll explain it and bring you up to speed. So now the tactic of the Illuminati, seeing that this Chinese checkmate is what I'm calling it, the Chinese checkmate has occurred. What is their function now? Well, they can't use the dollar as a backdrop anymore. They can't use the military as a backdrop anymore. So what do they have? They have rumor, they have disinformation, and they have misguidance and misleading. And that's what they're doing right now. They're doing it in a big, big way. And this is one example of it. Now, for all you guys out there, I know I get comments sometimes, because I know Bob Chapman, released the information. Sergeant Bull just did a video on it. I love both those guys. Sergeant Bull is great, does great videos. Bob Chapman is great. I love the guys. But I've got a comment from my perspective, And right here, what do I got right here? International Forecaster. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it right there? International Forecaster. Bob Chapman. All right? So I don't want to hear anybody talking trash and misinterpreting what I'm saying. Again, I'm just giving my interpretation of what's going on. And my interpretation is that the Illuminati are desperate and they're putting out all this disinformation and trying to use fear. See, they can take fear. Evildoers can take fear, the component of fear, on a per capita level, and they can actually manifest it into stuff. Okay? So be aware of that. And I want to unhinge your mind today from the components of fear that they're trying to put you under. All right? I'm trying to free your mind, all right? So the Chinese eminent domain, nonsense, disinformation, okay? Also, another thing, there was a national ID card rumor that the government was going to implant national ID cards, disinformation, fear component, again, all right? FEMA camps, disinformation, fear component. Get that out of your head right now. Gold confiscation. Again, get that out of your head. They're not going to do it. All right? World War III. Not going to happen. All right? World War III already happened, and the Chinese have debunked the United States with their use of super weapons. The reason why carriers, United States carriers, are going to the Mediterranean is because they're evacuating American people. All right? The reason why the Iranian carriers are there, or battleships, and the Chinese battleships are there, is to keep the United States honest. All right? Another thing, there will be no one world currency. People have been rumoring about this. Forget it. Put it out of your brain. It will not happen. All these components are not happening. Also, there's a lot of other rumors about the Chinese right now that I want to dispel from my perspective. Someone was talking about this fake Chinese silver. BS. More disinformation. See, they're trying to get your mind to hate the Chinese, okay? Which is what they always do. How many different racial groups in the United States alone have they posed against one another? All the time. You know, I'm in Southern California. They constantly try and throw up, you know, barriers between, you know, let's say the Mexicans that are immigrating and the, you know, white people that have been here for a while. You know, they try and throw disinformation between the blacks and the whites, between all kinds of different races. And this is the same tactic. You know, if you recall a couple of weeks ago when, you know, Ronald McDonald Trump was out, spewing his, rhetoric onto the world, which is a bunch of lies. What was he saying? The Chinese are our enemy. No, they're not, Donald. And he was saying, oh, the Chinese, they manipulate their currency. Okay, Donald, if you want to say that, then I want to ask you a question, okay? How badly do you think the dollar is manipulated in order to be the world reserve currency? Yeah, the dollar's manipulated about a quadrillion times more than the yuan could ever hope to be. So you know what, Donald? Shut your mouth. Disinformation punk. I mean, that's what the guy is. So watch the stuff that they're putting out about the Chinese, man. The Chinese are not after the American people. They are after the Illuminati and the banking system. And just, for your information, in this last episode of Egypt, when all of those riots and protests were over in that 18 days, China purchased 1.1 billion in Egyptian treasuries when no one else would touch them to help the Egyptian people. So I don't want to hear it, man. Okay, guys, I'm trying to put some truth out there again, so you guys just get out of that fear component of your mind, okay? It's an energy game. It's an energy game. And I'm trying to alleviate some of that fear energy that you guys might have. Okay? Thanks again for listening, guys. Have a good one.